Look, it's time for 3D World again, but this video is a bit different than the others, because I actually struggled in this one. World 4 opens up just like the previous worlds. You see a lot of levels and there's a lot to do. But as soon as you jump into the first level, you'll again not see anything new, except for these ants that you can bounce on for some reason. What if I told you that was the problem? The bouncing on the ants thing. Whenever I play 3D World on this channel, I try and make it interesting by choosing a new character every video. And today, it was time to play as Toad. Toad's a little smaller than the others, but colors up in speed. He's faster than all of them. And I don't know if it was Toad's fault, or I'm just really bad at the game, or it's just this bullshit mechanic, but I couldn't complete the first level at all. Whenever you bounce on anything in 3D World, you have the option to time your jump as soon as you land to get a higher jump. And the developers thought, hey, that's a nice feature, let's make a level entirely based on it. And as it turns out, I'm not really good at it. I'll go as far as to say that I'm really bad at it. It got to the point that I had to take the invincibility leaf to complete the level. Well, I was going to excuse all of this, but as soon as I went into the second level and figured out what it's based on, it's the same fucking thing. This time, instead of ants or any kind of jumping platform, you'll have to bounce on these piranha plants. And again, I don't know if it's my fault or it's just the Toad character. But again, I never seem to get this fucking star in one try. I got so frustrated that I actually rage quit. But when I came back, I started with the first level. Now, even though I collected everything that I needed from this level, it just wouldn't feel right to beat it with an invincibility leaf. That power-up essentially turns it into baby mode. It took several attempts, multiple deaths, and a lot of patience to clear this one level without dying. But in the end, I finally emerged victorious. That was a different way to start off the video, but in any case, with a boost to my confidence, I went to deal with the second level. The second level is literally crawling with piranha plants, but these ones are a bit different and a lot more fucking annoying to deal with. The point is hitting them with any kind of power-up or simply jumping on them for them to retract to either die or leave your path. But as I listed on the ways of getting rid of these things, you can actually jump on them, and by timing yourself right, you can get a very high bounce. Why am I telling you this? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the developers thought it was funny to add a transportation box for a challenge, which I don't know, maybe includes jumping on these things to get a star perchance. I hate these things with a passion. So I sat there trying and restarting, trying again, dying. Oh, what's that? I got the star, but it doesn't matter. You know why? Because I fucking died 7 seconds later. It was not mildly infuriating. It was actually infuriating. But with that little confidence boost from the first level and meticulously trying and practicing jumping on fucking piranha plants finally paid off in me not using the invincibility leaf and actually completing the level legit. Now I want you to guess. Put it down in the comment section, how long do you think this level lasted for me? You're done? It lasted 1 hour. 1 fucking hour. And for comparison, if you try and run this level as fast as you possibly can without collecting anything, you can be done with it in under 2 minutes. This is fucking ridiculous. Nevertheless, I was finally done with the second level, and I was pretty happy about it. Oh my god, I'm finally done. Holy shit. I hope the next few levels are as fun as possible, which wasn't totally accurate, but the levels ahead were pretty fun though. Of course. It's fucking obvious now, isn't it? I never really make good choices in my life, do I? First up, we have a blockade with a new enemy this time. These enemies are called boulders. They're very easy to deal with, since once you hit them with a power-up or just jump on them, they just turn into rocks which you can toss into lava. The level after that is a bit quirky though. It's based on beat sinking platforms which change when the beat hits and turn into hollow voids of nothing. Unlike my previous experiences in this world, it was very fun. And later I discovered that there are double cherries in this level, which means it's obvious that you will need at least 4 near the end. It's not really difficult to manage 1 or 2 more toads at the same time, but 3 or 4 go a little bit out of hand, especially at this ramp, which is nearly at the end where you need 4 people. So unfortunately, I did have to give this level another run, since only God knows the answer to this. What is fucking wrong with me today? Lo and behold, the level was done with everything collected this time. I moved on to the next level. And would you look at that? Bouncing fucking pads. But this time it was a lot more easier than the others. Mostly because of bad prior experiences. It wasn't really difficult, but I did die a few times. Since for the love of God I can't position myself like this. But it was a nice change of pace. The next thing that I needed to do was to conquer this challenge house, which has 10 stars? Isn't that a bit too much for even a challenge? And by the way, it wasn't a challenge, it was actually very fun. All you had to do is to reach the end and grab the star as fast as you possibly could. I did fail once or twice, but I was having fun with it, so it was very good. But the level after that was another one of those frustrating category. Now first of all, I'm not really used to these rolling things and it's really difficult to manage where they are and how they are. Second, these things are also on platforms in some areas, which also make it difficult to jump on and off the platform since these things are continuously rolling. And even though you think you jumped over it, it turns out you jumped a little too early and it didn't roll past you, so it's going to hit you and take your power up, by the way. Why do I speak of power-ups? Because most of the stars and the stamp in here requires a catsuit. This is the most cryptic shit I've ever seen. You need the catsuit for the stars and stamp that you need to collect. And if you lose your catsuit or die by accident, you'll have to restart the entire level by going into the menu and restarting it. Since you'll miss all the collectibles and you'll have to backtrack, which is arguably worse. So the cycle continues. You get the catsuit, you get hit, you restart. You get the catsuit, you get fucked over by the spinies, you get restart. This level took another fucking half an hour, by the way, which again isn't justifiable for a small level such as this one. That does complete every major level in World 4 though. There's only two things left now. One is this underground path, and the other is the castle. Let's go into the castle and skip all of this bullshit. The castle level was surprisingly fun. It turns out, if you pick up and throw rocks, it's a lot more entertaining than just dying. At the end, I fought this fire boss, by the way, which I'd say was too easy for my taste, but I've suffered enough in this world. After the big chunk of rocks dies, I can finally save this stupid pixie that made me go so much of a hell, to open up the doors to a potential next one. Hey, you know what? I always wanted to tell you something. You are the largest, filthiest piece of shit